Hello and welcome. I'm Shankar, your instructor for Statistics for Business 1.
And I'm Liza, his analyst.
All of this week, we have been analyzing a dataset that we have downloaded from the World Bank website. This dataset contains international tourism receipts. Some time back, we said that pictures don't convey everything. Now I'll say that numbers alone don't convey the full picture.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could somehow picture this data?
One way to visualize numerical data is with a histogram. You may recall from high school how you group numbers into bins known as class intervals. You bucketed your data into these bins and built a frequency table. Then you created a bar chart, right? That's what I call a histogram.
Yeah, but we have 161 numbers this time.
Yes, that's the problem, right? We use spreadsheets to process larger real-life data sets. Now there are many formulas for what should be the ideal size of a bin. I'll just go with a bin size of 2000 for now. So we agreed on a bin size of 2000. I'll go ahead and create my bins for the year 1995 and for the year 2010. I'll start with $0 million and then increase the size systematically. So this will be 0 plus 2000 of course, and constantly the same amount. So I have $G, $14 for 2000. I will now go ahead and drag all the way up to 30,000. This cell will stand for all of those countries with receipts over 30,000. That's the implicit assumption. We'll use the same identical bins for both the years so we can compare the counts across years. Excel interprets 1995 as a number, and that is why I have named my columns Y 1995 and Y 2010. Now there's a nifty spreadsheet function called frequency. Watch me carefully. For year 1995, I will highlight all of these cells. I will type in frequency as my function, and I have frequencies for everything in column B, which is 1995, according to these bins that I indicate. Control Shift Enter, and I have a bunch of numbers. All right. Now let's see if these bunches of numbers are adding up correctly, and grab the total while we are at it. It's the sum of these numbers, and it turns out to be 161. I'm going to now replicate the same for the year 2010. Watch me carefully. And I have a different set of numbers. You have to be very careful about this. If I were to drag the total across, I get 161 once again. So those are the countries that we have accounted for. What we have now is a list of bins with their frequencies.
Just like in high school.
I'll now go ahead and select a frequency table 1 year at a time and get 2 histograms. So I don't need this series of numbers. I'll just go ahead and delete it. I don't even need this legend because I know that it is for the year 1995. The axes labels, I'm going to go ahead and change that to, guess what? The ranges of the amounts. So this would be select data, and in my data for my x-axis labels, I'm going to select the bin labels over here. All right, select the last one too, press enter, and you see what happened. I get a histogram, the labels adjust themselves. The very first column over here stands for the number of countries that made between 0 and $2 billion in the year 1995 in terms of their international tourism receipts.
That's 75% of the countries in 1995.
And over half the countries, if you were to look at the frequency tables in 2010. So what you have on your screen are the histograms for the 2 years. I have even used an R program to construct a neater version for these histograms. But barring the bar on the left, there is little difference that we can spot.
About 25 countries have shifted to the right.
You're right. How about we just stick to one region? Let's examine the largest region in terms of the number of countries.
That's Europe and Central Asia.
Very smart. Let's see how the receipts have grown over time, shall we? In this filter for region, I'll start by deselecting all and then selecting only Europe and Central Asia. And if I were to scroll down, I have a set of countries that turn out to be 41 in number. And what we have, let's just double check, are 42 rows minus the header at the top anyways. So we've transferred the countries in the European and Central Asian regions into a new tab. So I start with my bin size of 2000, of course. My bins are here, year 1995 and year 2010. What I'm left with is having to create histograms or column charts. So you have two histograms on the screen now. I've gone ahead and cleaned up these histograms by changing the axis labels and so on.
Hard to spot a difference.
Let me use this occasion to go over a common mistake which can be quite serious. Do you notice the y-axis values? The first one maxes out at 20, while the second accommodates a maximum frequency of just 14. When comparing apples with apples, our scales must match. So what I'm going to do now is to rescale the y-axis. So I select the y-axis in the second chart, format the axis, and my very first option here is scale. I'm going to go to the maximum and set it at 20. This time there is a visible difference.
New bars after $8 billion and others have grown taller.
The same set of 41 countries are covered by both the histograms. Across the years, the tourism receipts in the European region have increased overall and in a substantial manner. Here's one of my favorite sayings. When in doubt, histogram. In this segment, we learned how to summarize the values of one or more numerical variables using histograms. The frequency function of a spreadsheet came in handy. There's also an Excel add-in that supplies you with a histogram table in just one click.
Why do they even call it a histogram?
I'll let you figure that one out. In the meantime, I suggest you try out some exercises to get your hands around this concept. Until then, goodbye.